And welcome to the news at 6. I'm Doug Petcash. A former high-ranking Caldwell police officer was back in federal court today for day 2 of his trial. Joey Hoadley is accused of violating a man's civil rights. A federal grand jury indicted Hoadley on 4 felony charges earlier this year. Those are deprivation of rights under the color of the law, falsification of records in a federal investigation, tampering with a witness by harassment, and tampering with documents. The former lieutenant's fate lies in the hands of 14 jurors chosen yesterday. Here is the list of those charges I just read to you. Now, he pleaded not guilty to all 4 counts that you're seeing on your screen this summer. Our 7 Investigates team was in court all day. My co-anchor, Morgan Romero, is live outside the federal courthouse in Boise now with what happened inside the courthouse today. Morgan?
Good evening, Doug. Today in federal court, we heard from people who were there when Hoadley allegedly used that excessive force, the man he's accused of hitting back in 2017, as well as the officer who says that he witnessed it. Hoadley's initial 2 charges are related to an incident stemming back to March 2017. In which he allegedly hit a man referred to as BH while that man was handcuffed. The government accuses Hoadley of falsifying a report about that incident. Hoadley's defense attorney, Chuck Peterson, argues BH, the alleged victim, tensed up, and any force Hoadley used was reasonable to keep him from resisting or escaping. Starting at 9 o'clock here this morning, the U.S. Attorney's Office called 6 witnesses, including a use of force expert, 2 former officers, and 1 current high-ranking Caldwell lieutenant. As I mentioned, they also called in the alleged victim at the center of these initial charges. BH says Hoadley hit him with his forearm in the chin. They also showed an officer's body camera video. This is the first time we're seeing this, of the events leading up to and after the 2017 altercation between Hoadley and BH. The altercation itself wasn't captured on body camera video, but you can hear BH yelling, quote, "You punched me in the face," and Hoadley yelling, "I didn't punch you in the face, stop trying to escape." The government then called Officer Eddie Ibarra, who was there when Hoadley allegedly hit the man. Ibarra testified on the stand under oath that he saw out of the corner of his eye Hoadley hit the man and the man fall to the ground at Ibarra's feet. The government also introduced more evidence to back its claim that Hoadley had a pattern of willfully using excessive force. A former officer, Josh Gregory, gave emotional testimony, having to pause to collect himself. He said he loved being a police officer, but he left the department because of misconduct. Gregory said he talked to his captain about issues, but nothing happened. Gregory went to the FBI with Joseph Caldwell, the other officer we told you about yesterday, who gave tear-felt testimony in court. They filed a complaint against Hoadley and other CPD officers in late 2020 after Hoadley showed Caldwell video of him allegedly punching a man who was handcuffed in 2016, a separate incident, and then bragged about it. This, as we reported, spurred the FBI investigation. The defense asked why it took Gregory so long to report this. He said he decided he didn't want to be at Caldwell anymore, and this was his last effort to right the ship. Through expert witnesses, the government also showed how Hoadley was trained to use force in an appropriate way. A current lieutenant went over Caldwell PD force policies and when force is justified. That policy, I want to read it to you, says the degree of force used depends on what the officer perceives as reasonable and necessary under the circumstances, like in order to detain someone, keep them from escaping, and defend themselves. We'll be back out here at the federal court tomorrow morning at 8:30 every day. That trial just starts a little bit earlier. We do expect, they talked about a timeline in court today. We expect that more witnesses, 4 more witnesses from the prosecution side will be called tomorrow. Then the defense will have their cross-examination and they can call people forward. Then closing arguments could occur on Thursday. And then, of course, the jury has to deliberate. But we do anticipate, to answer a question Doug asked me yesterday, that we will be out here for at least the rest of the week, Doug.
All right, Morgan, thank you for your reporting there from live outside the federal courthouse in Boise.